The golden state of California, which is the 5th largest economy in the world. Did you know that? Bigger than all of India, this state. Just behind Japan, we have the 5th biggest economy, the 5th highest GDP, and things are about to get even higher thanks to a new bill that signed into law this week by our governor that will allow marijuana dispensaries to serve food and non-alcoholic drinks. They will have, which means we will soon have dozens of cannabis cafes just like they have in Amsterdam, which is, you know, now that I think, Guillermo, this seems like a good time to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, Jimmy.
I really am enjoying our time together.
Me too, Jimmy. I'm gonna miss you.
Putting a kitchen in a cannabis dispensary, it sounds like a good way to set off your smoke alarm every 2 minutes, but the law doesn't go into effect until next year. And until then, there are still plenty of places you can go to eat and get high. There's a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, Arby's, Wendy's, In-N-Out, Popeyes, and so on. And we may need those havens bigly because the election is only 32 days away. We have 2 major candidates for president. One wants to take away your health care, already took away reproductive rights, was found guilty of 34 felonies with more to come, was impeached twice, and openly tried to overturn the election. The other candidate isn't the first candidate, and that's kind of all you need to know. I mean, how is this election close? All caps in America hit Truth Social hard last night. Trump is highly upset about the 165 pages of incriminating evidence the judge released yesterday. He details every step, she detailed every step of the attempt to overthrow the election because it's so close to the election. For 60 days prior to an election, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with said election. They disobeyed their own rule in favor of complete and total election interference. I did nothing wrong. They did. The case is a scam. Trump is what, 78 years old? You think he knows he can double tap the shift button on his phone for all caps, or is he pressing it between each letter? I bet it's number 2. I really do. And this is an interesting twist. Trump says it wasn't him who tried to overturn the election, even though they have him on tape doing just that. It was them.
They rigged the election. I didn't rig the election. They rigged the election. What they do is they rig the election, and then they go around getting people and persecuting people and prosecuting people that did nothing wrong. They rigged the election.
The old he who smelt it dealt it defense.
And the voters, they get it. They've read it, they get it. And it's already come out. Every single channel is calling it election interference. Ready? They rigged the election. The election was rigged. I didn't rig it, they did.
He's actually right about some of that. He didn't rig the election. He tried to rig the election and failed to rig the election. He's a rignoramus is what he is. And he's still... Today, Trump was in Michigan raving and ranting about the media and immigrants and windmills. Again, he hates windmills. He complained in front of a bunch of Teamsters about how much he hates paying overtime. He went on about crowd size and how Biden is to blame for his crowds not being big. And then his teleprompter went out.
The teleprompter just went out. Just went out. I'm standing here, and I do most of it without the tele. Isn't it nice to have somebody that doesn't need a teleprompter? You know, it's very dangerous. You got to be careful. You know, teleprompters will often go out. And if you're a certain type of person like Joe Biden, what would he do with the teleprompter? He's no good when the teleprompter is on. But what would you do? No, the teleprompter just went out. And you know what I say? Usually I don't talk about it. Just keep going. Just keep going. You saw I just did. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. It's wonderful. I love you very much. And go out and about. That's so...
Do we have any birthdays in the audience tonight? If you watch, if you watch any of his speeches from the last election from 2020, you'll see he's slower. He slurs his words. He repeats the same stories over and over and over again. He's repeatedly promised to release his medical records, and of course he has not. And what makes that so interesting is, Republicans We're very worked up about Joe Biden, how old he was and his energy level, his ability to lead. But even though Trump is only 3 years younger than Joe Biden, they don't seem too worried about that anymore.
Biden can't walk. He can barely speak.
We just set another stock rocket.
He can read off a teleprompter.
Shifting production to Thailand.
These people need to step down. They're too old.
We like to listen to AM radio.
He's old. He's really old.
They used to call it TiVo, now they have TiVo.
President Biden is so divorced from reality.
Chuck Schumer has become a Palestinian.
Has Joe Biden really lost touch with all reality?
I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
You can already see his decline.
Will repeat your...
There comes a time where you take the keys away from Grandpa.
They're eating the dogs.
The cognitive decline is degenerative. It gets worse, not better.
They're eating the cats.
We could give you examples.
Ding, 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 ding.
For example.
Hurrah, MAGA. MAGA, MAGA.
The man is non-functional.
I'm Joe Biden, and they made me withdraw. That's a bunch of banana oil.
Yeah, that's right. It is a bunch of banana oil. But the MAGA faithful, God bless them, they're still showing up. They're still buying hats. The news team from RSBN, that's the Right Side Broadcasting Network, was on the ground in Saginaw. And if you're wondering what these Trump rallies are really like, this should tell you all you need to know.
Just want to show the viewers at home some of the fabulous memorabilia that you can purchase out here. Now, this Trump duck, tell me about this Trump duck and what you like about it. It's got the ear.
It does. It's got the ear on it. This one is going to stay in the top in my vehicle, and this one, probably in the house or in the vehicle, both.
I love it. You know, you never see a Kamala duck, do you?
Nope, you never do. Only Donald is a duck. I mean, really, why even bother with an election? Just count up who has more Chinese-made ducks.
He kind of just speaks freely on everything, and he doesn't shy away from anything. So that's kind of what I like about him.
That's how Jesus was. You know, Jesus was flipping tables over when he saw that things were wrong.
He was straight up. He didn't care.
He was transparent, and I love that about Trump as well.
Yeah, it's quite a connection, Trump and Jesus. They're very, very similar guys. Where do you think Trump got the idea to sell $100,000 watches and Bitcoin? From Jesus. Meanwhile, Melania hasn't appeared at one of her husband's rallies in months, but she did come out of her shoe closet today to promote her book and to reveal that, unlike her husband, she is pro-choice.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. Maybe ask the fat, sweaty manatee banging on your bedroom door with his little pink fist what it means. Because he seems to have a lot of thoughts on the subject. Melania's views on abortion are actually very progressive. She believes that women should be able to abort their stepchildren. Melania claims that this is not a new position for her. She wrote, "I have carried this belief with me throughout my entire adult life." Guess if you're Melania and you want to contradict your husband, the safest place to do it is in a book where neither he nor any of his supporters will ever see it. This is quite a team he has around him. Trump's new sycophant, RFK Jr., I think we're starting to understand why they get along so well. First, we find out he was trading sexts with a reporter from New York Magazine, and now Mediaite is reporting that over the past year, RFK had affairs with at least 3 women who worked for the crazy anti-vax 5G Gives You Cancer charity he founded. This guy is very popular with the ladies. Say what you like. I mean, listen, I get it. He's a dreamboat. I mean, between the roadkill collecting and the brain parasite and the crusade to make polio great again, coupled with that sputtering, wobbly voice that sounds like a dirt bike struggling to make it uphill, how could any woman resist? Have you heard about the strike, the pork strike thousands of longshoremen and dock workers fighting for better pay, better protections from automation went on strike Tuesday, which means the delivery of products around the country could slow down dramatically. And can you guess which product Americans are the most worried about? Toilet paper. That's right. We're panic buying toilet paper in case there's a shortage like we had during COVID. Some Walmarts and Targets are already sold out, even though experts say the supply of toilet paper would not be affected by the port strike at all because most of it is made here in the United States. But we love to hoard toilet paper. If there's one lesson the pandemic taught us, it's that anything can be toilet paper if you use your imagination. It's hello, gift wrap. Today, though, fortunately, they made a tentative agreement to get back to work tomorrow. But this is interesting. Harold Daggett, who's the union boss, is a big Don Trump fan. Here he is gently fondling Trump's hand in Trump's office, which if you zoom in behind Trump, you see he's got a photo of himself hanging out with fellow human rights aficionado Kim Jong-un. I would have thought that would be on the table next to his bed, but some were speculating that crippling the economy, as Daggett threatened to do a month before the election, would have been a win for Trump. But you have to be a real cynic to believe something like that. I mean, as much as Trump wants to win this election, he cares so much more about this country. He loves this country and would never, ever have a bad word to say about it in a million years.
America! It's horrible. Dirty, filthy dirty. We are actually becoming a third world country. You can't buy a car. You walk down the street, you get mugged or you get shot. The price of bacon has gone up 5 times. You can't order bacon. The grocery stores are running out of food. It's worse than Honduras. America. America. America has become a dirty, crime-ridden death trap. We're a failed nation. The medians of our highways are crumbling. The garbage is piled up and disgusting. Crackers are up 40%. People are living in hell. The American dream is dead.
What a hatred. Thank you for those inspiring words, Mr. President. And one more thing before we move on. It is Thursday night, and that means it's time to bleep and blur the biggest TV moments of the week. It's time for This Week in Unnecessary Censorship.
All new tonight, Alaska's popular Fat Bear Week contest has been delayed by a day after one of the contestants another to death. Okay, wow. I didn't see that coming there. Yeah. All right.
The world saw it on that debate stage a few weeks ago. A nearly 80-year-old Donald Trump talking about sizes is not what we need in this moment.
The rules were that you guys weren't going to and since you're me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
This debate here in New York City is going to be a little bit different. The CBS News team says that both candidates are going to have to each other.
But here's the thing. We like hard. Hard is good. Hard is good.
We used to have bipartisan retreats where Republicans and Democrats each other's and some of my closest Democratic friends came because my wife...
I'm so sorry. I have a in my throat. I have tea here and it's not working.
Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson says he burned his on a big he was riding Friday at the Mayberry show and parade.
I have no idea what it's like to play in this heat. Can you give us an idea?
I my pants at halftime.
I mean, someone like me, I love multiple just because, like, I love a
God bless you all. I'll be back. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Get out and vote.